Hey guys, I am in a bit of a time crunch today, but I have set myself a challenge to try and figure out what kind of eye look I want to do with this crazy shirt. I said a while back that I am a bit of a kind of more romantic, cute, goth girl at heart, so I've made these shirts maybe last summer. I think I bought these sort of sweat wicking t-shirts and did an iron on design. I bought a pack of these and they're sort of, you know, gothy kind of skull. Well, they're skulls, but some of them weren't all skulls, and they've got, you know, flowers and cutesy things, but also spiders and teeth and vampire-y, you know the deal. So what am I going to do with this sort of slate blue and bright red? I have no idea. I did not plan this, and I have to be at an appointment in less than an hour. So let's do this. I've got my base on. I did some bushy wild brows just for some fun, and we're going to add some color to this very matte, very dull face. And we're just going to brush through it. I'll put it on. I'll do one side. Boom, next, and we'll do the others. Let's get some color and dimension in here. We're going in with the liquid contour as usual. Boop, 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 and boop. We'll do a quick blendy, sort of gentle, slight upward motion. Cast that shadow. We're just working it in here. Do our natural hollows. If we were going for a more snatched look, we would go slightly above to lift the face. And just gently working that in. This is the SheGlam liquid contour in the color Soft Tan. We're always doing a cooler tone to mimic a shadow. And we're continuing my natural line that kind of starts here where my cheek jawbone is, to give the illusion that I'm losing that extra chin there. Actually popping in here real quick, because I actually had switched and didn't think about the fact that I have done this in a previous video and I hadn't really drawn any attention to it, but I'm about transparency here on this channel, right? So I've been doing this because I've been getting cramps lately. While I am right-handed, I have been kind of switching over to my left hand because I've been getting cramps. And I don't know if it's because my magnesium and potassium are low. I do take a daily supplement, and I am on a daily baclofen dose, but I may need to talk to one of my doctors to see what's going on with that. Coincidentally, the appointment that I'm rushing to get to is pain management. He doesn't do those medications. He does my hydrocodone and my, what's the name? I only take it daily. Shoot, we'll check back in when I can remember that. It'll come to me the second I finish filming. But anyway, since I'm now done with that, why don't we go ahead in with the blush. Now, I think I actually have backwards blush blindness, if you can believe that. So I am going to go right above in here with my Profusion Wild Rose palette. And I swear that I get too much blush. And every single time I stop filming, I go outside and it's gone. So I'm going to do what I think is way too much blush, and I'm going to leave it there because I always think, oh my God, I cannot leave the house looking like this, and it's gone. So I'm going to do what I think is way too much, and then I'm going to leave it. So let's see how this blends out. So getting all kinds of, look at this. I need to bring that up with somebody. I'm not sure what is happening with that, but anyway, let's blend this out until I think I've got way too much blush on, and we'll think about what that is. Why can't I think of it? Okay, well, while we're blending, we'll see if I can't look that up. We're just blending, and we are looking up the medicine. Meloxicam. Goodness gracious. So that is not a controlled pain medication like the hydrocodone is, of course, but those are the ones he handles. This usually blends out so quick. I think it's my base, but I mean, I love this shade. I just think, goodness, that's a lot, right? Maybe it's the lighting. I don't know. It feels way too much to me, but we'll see. And actually the reason I decided that I was going to go to match these crazy colors and not just do like a neutral that I would normally do, and we're taking this all the way up to the temples, is because he still does the masking indoors, which that's fine. Obviously, I'm going to a pain clinic where people are dealing with sickness. There's often other disabled people, older people. And so, you know what? I'm going to leave it at that. So there are going to be people there that are sick. And so I absolutely agree with taking care of people that have compromised immune systems, people that have a tendency to, you know, get sicker. I'm all for it. But it does mean that, you know, it's possible that there could be, you know, illnesses that get spread. So I feel like that's fine. I'm not gonna, you know, complain about it. But it does mean that all this work that I'm putting in right now is, you know, possibly, I'm just, again, you've heard me do this. High points of your face, any leftover I got is just gonna go to that Cupid's bow, and we're just highlighting any areas that'll get the light opposite of what we do with the contours. And again, you've seen me use this from Wet n Wild. So yeah, and there you got it. Now I am going to do a stain because with that mask, it's all going to be covered. So the focus is going to be the eyes, making sure that my lips are completely dry. I'm going to go in with the Profusion Hydrating Lip Stain in the shade Blackberry Glaze. And this is going to give a nice red stain. Not this orange red, but a nice berry red. So we're going to put that on, and just before we leave, we're going to get rid of it. My appointment is officially in 45 minutes, so I need to hurry. If I stop talking, AI is going to cut this out, but as you see, it's going to go on really dark, and then we'll wipe it off, and it'll be a nice berry color. This is super creamy, which is different from a lot of stains that I have used before. I really like this formula, but I need to... All right, you see the formula, you see how beautiful it is. I'm going to stop talking so I can put it on nicely, and then we'll be back. All right, I've got that on. So now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do one eye, and then we'll come back and I'll demo the second eye. All right, and we're back. This is the look I decided to pull together. Now I'm gonna show you guys how I did it. So starting off, and of course, the Moonlight Magic palette. I swear, this is my holy grail. And as soon as it's no longer available for you guys, I don't know, you'll have to go to eBay or something. Eventually, I will have to move on, but not today. We are going to start with the color Hellraiser. Took a fairly fluffy brush, and what we're going to do is start with a halo. So starting on the inner corner, I'm just going to stamp out just a fairly rough shape. We're going to do not quite a full third. We're just getting that color in there, going a little bit over the crease. Don't go too far into the nose. And it's going to start looking a little pink, but the more we build it up, the more it's going to turn into its truer magenta color. And if you don't have this palette, I don't know why. I swear I've been preaching it over and over and over. It's really not that expensive. We're talking drugstore, guys. And if you don't have it, look for something very similar if you were wanting to recreate this. It's a magenta that will build up to a deep red. It does have a pink undertone, a very berry pink, very cool toned. It's gonna end up something like this. My looks are not precise. They are accessible for everyone. Get it like that. Now, because we're not super precise, sometimes it doesn't get as built up in that crease as you want. So I go in with a denser brush with a sort of cone-shaped tip, and we're gonna go into that same color, and now we're just gonna build up so we get that red, that deep maroon. We're just gonna make sure that red color pops, building that up right there in that crease so we get some depth. All right, you see how we've taken it from that pinky color all the way into that deep red, like that. Now we're gonna do the same on that outside corner. Don't go too far out, but you are gonna build up a little bit of that outside V, kind of like that. And you can go further in this time. We're just gonna build up, go a little bit outside of your crease. So that's gonna be that line here. You're gonna build just a little bit over the top. If you have hooded eyes like me, that way when you're looking at somebody, you still see a pop of that color, just like that. And again, you're just getting that color there. Don't worry too much about it leaning pink, because we're gonna go back in with that brush to make sure that we've got that red, kind of like that. Make sure you're on the lid as well as that outer corner, like that. Again, we're gonna take that cone brush, dipping back in. We're gonna make sure, especially in that outer V, that we've got red in there and not pink. And we're providing sort of a bracket or a halo, that's why it's called that, for the blue color that we're gonna add to fit inside. And we're just deepening up that color, like that. Now for my favorite part, and you know who I'm quoting, we're gonna go underneath our eye with the eyeshadow, because you don't look weird with eyeshadow under your eyes, you're just not used to it. Tell me in the comments who says that. All right, we're taking a flat, see how flat that is? Thin, very dense eyeshadow brush, and we're sweeping this red color underneath our eyes very gently. Don't get eyeshadow in your eye. We're connecting this inner corner, that very deep color that we put in here, and we're sweeping it underneath our eyelids, doing a thin line. And because it's already just in powder form, it's going to give us that sort of blurred effect without having to do much work. You know what I just noticed, guys? I have a gray eyelash. I am only 43. I started going gray, you guys, no joke, at like 24 was when I first started noticing gray hairs. And this is the front camera on my Pixel 9 Pro, so I know it's very easy to see these grays peeking out, especially here right at my temple and at the top. They aren't really like streaking through my hair yet. This is my natural color. It's all grown out to natural, so yeah. And so we are done with this red color. Now we're gonna switch palettes. I know, it hurts me too. We are done with that one. And we are gonna go into our SheGlam mini palettes. This is the Striking Scorpio palette. We haven't gone into her in a minute. And we're going to go into the color Enigma. It's this one down here. We're going in with our, I guess, medium fluffy round brush. And we're just gonna fill in that gap that we created in the middle. Don't worry too much about getting it blended. We're gonna do that with a deeper color. So just pack it in, make sure you get it pretty even. And no, I don't have my voice back, you guys. I don't know what's going on with the frog in my throat, but it's still here, so I apologize for whatever is happening, but it is, so I do apologize for that. I had somebody leave a comment before all this happened with my voice, and they're like, you should do ASMR, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then this happened. I'm like, not getting those comments again. Maybe that'll help, probably not, but all right, so we got that on there. And now we're gonna go in with a very fluffy brush into the color Power. It's right over top, and really make sure you dust this off. So now we're gonna go kind of right over those lines, just gently blend those in, and then just go over that center. It's a little bit darker, and it's just gonna help lay down a nice base for what I will show you in just a second, and it is my favorite part. So now those edges are kind of blurred a little bit more, like that. Right, one more palette, guys. We're almost done. We're going into the SheGlam Wolf Calls palette. This is another beautiful palette. Look at that, from SheGlam. We are going into the color Bright Idea. It is a shimmer shade. Look at that. We're just gonna go in with our finger, pat over that middle section, going into the blurred areas that we just created. See how that instantly makes a huge difference and elevates that look? I love this part. It's so pretty. Just look at that. We made this look with all drugstore brands. I know that it takes a little more work with these eyeshadows to really like get the color saturated, to make sure that you're not really, you know, getting any patchiness, stuff like that. Okay, so you take a couple extra, you know, seconds, whatever, in your makeup step to make sure everything's really blended or whatever. Okay, so you're spending, you know, what, 50, 75% less to take a couple more minutes in your routine. I don't care. Whatever. All right. So the last part of this is we're just gonna go in with a clean, very fluffy brush. This one came from Daiso, Asian like Dollar Tree type store. And I'm just gonna go over the outside edges, make sure that nothing is like hanging out. We're just gonna blur everything, make sure it's nice and clean. The last thing I'm gonna do, we're keeping this simple but impactful. So I'm just gonna give a quick coating of mascara to my top lashes. This was like one coat, you guys. I am not a huge fan of like tons and tons of coats. I just want a quick impact. And so I do like one coat. I do a wiggle and flick. Today I just grabbed a mascara from SheGlam to continue our little like theme. So we started with Profusion, but then the last two palettes were from SheGlam, and so I just grabbed my SheGlam mascara. I'm just gonna go in with one quick clip. Really, y'all? One quick coat. I swear I learned English. And we're just running through. We're really focusing on the outer lashes like that. All right, it is time to wipe off this stain. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? You can see I am wiping off that cream part. I'm gonna do a very quick gloss. And then the last thing I'm gonna do, you may have noticed that I didn't bronze yet because I just wanna flip through the different settings, because maybe that's what's happening is I'm just like, all right. So the blush is still blushing as far as I can tell. And I do seem just a little pale, so I am going to bronze a little bit. Not gonna go too heavy. I wanna stay a little warm. Looking at this palette here. Look, y'all, contour? I think not, it's warm. The only one that seems cool to me, this one up here, but it's shiny. I don't get it. So I think I'm still pulling pale, so I'm gonna go into, I think I'm gonna go into this one right here. I haven't done this one yet. I'm just gonna add it up here to the temples. And this is a powder. I'm gonna flip through the lighting one more time. I'm gonna get a little bit more. I'm gonna give just a little to the bridge of the nose. All right, I'm gonna call it. Still feel like I'm wearing way too much blush, but we'll see when we get the pictures outside natural light. One more finishing touch. All right, so as always, stay safe, be kind to yourself. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Well, here we are. I thought I'd show you the final look. I am in the office, so I'm just gonna do this very quick. Hopefully y'all can hear me. But yeah, the mask is sort of matching, and I think we can see the blush a little bit, but yeah. I should be called back soon, so signing off. Bye, guys. Hey, so I thought I would try again. It's a little echoey in here, but we'll see how it's holding up, see if anything's rubbing off. The lip stain is doing great. I still think this is too much blush, but you guys will have to let me know. And I don't see much rubbing off here. Oh, here we go. Let's zoom in. You can tell that I am not using a filter because look, real skin. Real 43-year-old skin. It has texture. This is how my forehead wrinkles. See, if we smile, I don't get like, I get my scrunchies here, but like, I don't have like the normal, like, I don't know how to even do the scrunchy big lines here. I just like get like tiny like crepe paper crinkles. See? But yeah, so real texture, real skin. This is what it looks like. But I don't know how long he's gonna be. Usually not too bad. Probably should have, you know, let's sit on the bed and get, you know, the real like doctor background, prove that I'm where I say I am. I'm really here, so. Anyway, just thought I'd pop in and do that. Oh, that was kind of cool. Anyone get dizzy? Trigger warnings? But yeah, what do you guys think? We do pretty good?